Hello YouTube world, my name is Ryan and welcome to Staying Serene. Staying Serene is a place where I encourage and inspire young believers to live by faith, pursue their purpose, and glorify God with their lives. And today I'm sharing a video on what I learned after graduating University of The Bahamas, my lessons for my senior year. If you look back, every year I like to do a video on what I learned, and so it's that time again where I get to share what I learned. This past year has been very busy for me, my senior year. I had a lot of stuff going on. I actually moved to NASA so I could finish my final classes. I ended up taking a credit overload in my fall semester of 21 credits, and that was a lot of hard work, but I'm so glad I was able to do that, and that pushed me forward in graduating on time. I was actually mostly focusing on my senior thesis during my spring semester, so it was really a busy year, but I've learned a lot of lessons that I want to share with you. Honestly, looking back, I never thought that I would graduate from University of the Bahamas. If you look back at my earlier videos, the goal was always to go off after my first year. I was so excited to experience life in a new country, and I really wanted to go to either the US or Canada to further my English studies, but that actually ended up not happening. We had Dorian, then we had COVID-19, and so it made the most sense for my family and for myself for me to continue going to UB and graduating from there. And honestly, I am so glad that I did, because it was really an opportunity and experience that I wouldn't have gotten anywhere else. And I'm so grateful to have been a graduate class of 2023. I'm going to put some photos right here from my graduation. Please do follow me on Instagram if you want to see more from me over there. I love sharing my thoughts and what God is teaching me. Now let's get right into what I have learned from being at the University of the Bahamas for the past 4 years. So the first thing that I learned is that going to a local community college has its benefits. Now in the Bahamas, most students go off, and UB is usually seen as, if you're unable to go off, it's like an okay second choice, but it's not really a first choice for a lot of students. It wasn't my first choice, but I learned that there are certain things at UB that you can't find anywhere else, and that there were benefits for me from going there. The first thing was that it was financially affordable. Going off is a lot of money, and at UB, first of all, tuition and fees aren't that costly. Plus, I had the benefit of the tertiary education grant, and that paid for majority of my college. So I don't have any student debt. I don't have any outstanding fees. I don't have a huge amount that I had to pay to my university because I was on the tertiary education grant. Every semester, UB paid for my tuition, and then I had to pay the leftover like library fee, computer fee, and that was only a few $100s per semester. So I actually saved a lot of money, and I'm really grateful for that, because it wasn't really costly for me to get an education. And also, you really shouldn't underestimate a local community college like UB. I felt like when I first came, I underestimated it, and I thought that it was just going to be, it's just UB, not going to be a lot of work, but you really do end up working for your degree. The quality of education is really high, so it's vigorous. Like, you're going to be working hard. You're not going to be slack or lazy. You can't be, because it's such a rigorous environment and it's a lot of hard work. So definitely don't underestimate it, and realize the benefits that you have in staying in your own country and learning more about your country. There's certain classes that I took. I took classes in Bahamian literature, and I got to read some incredible Bahamian and Caribbean authors. I got to read Caribbean intellectuals. I got to learn about post-colonial theory, and it was just so interesting getting an education in English from a Bahamian perspective. And so that's one thing that I really appreciate. I have a greater appreciation now for my fellow Bahamian writers, the authors, the poets, the essayists, because of my education at UB. And there were a lot of open doors that were also given to me while I was at UB. The second lesson that I learned is that your faith has to be important to you. You have to be serious in your faith when you go off to college. And it kind of surprised me, because I assumed that it would be easier to maintain your faith while you are at UB. But the thing is, you're going to hear many different viewpoints, many different perspectives. Many of them may not even align with the Bible. You will be challenged. You will, have debates and discussions with your students who aren't Christians. And so it's really going to push your faith. And it can be difficult, I just assumed that because the Bahamas is considered a Christian nation, that our institutions like UB would, also be like that. But I think that in any institution, you're still going to be faced with people who you disagree with, people who have different perspectives, and some of them, it just may not align with what you believe. And that's completely all right as long as you stay in your faith. So I think that when you're in college, you need to take your faith so seriously. Like, you need to be intentional in studying the Bible every single day, or as much as you can, because you will get busy. And so you have to set time and you have to seek godly and Christian community. What I did was I joined a Christian Bible study on campus, and that is how I stay committed in my faith. Another way is I also made sure that I went to church every Sunday. And because I was away from home in my final semester, in my final year at UB, I was away from home. It was up to me. No one was dragging me to church. No one was telling me to go to Bible study or to read the Bible. I had to do that for myself. And because I wanted to stay close to God, because I didn't want to lose my faith, I made the decision that I was going to do certain things. I was going to read the Bible. I was going to go to church and go to Bible study. So I think that when you go to college, you have to realize that your faith is something that's very important and something very intentional to you. No matter how busy you might get, that you're always making some sort of time to spend with God. The third thing that I learned is that you have to be adaptable to change. And this is like one of the big lessons from the past 4 years at UB, because everything changed. And I realized that I needed to be flexible. I couldn't just have my idea of what my journey would look like. Because for me, I thought my journey was going to be very linear. I thought it was just going to be me spend 1 year at UB, then me going off 3 years, 4 years, and then graduating. But that's not how it looked. I ended up staying at UB after my first year, and then COVID happened and it forced us online. And if you've watched some of my videos before, you would know that we actually spent 2 whole years on online classes, and that was a struggle, that was difficult, that was not easy, and I really needed to be disciplined and self-controlled and focused to do that. And then on my final year, I had to go to Nassau, and I did not want to go to Nassau. I wanted to stay home, but I had to do it, and I had to be willing to make that change so that I can graduate. And I think that for a lot of us, we think that college is a linear path and that it looks the same way for everyone, and that's not true. For some of you, you may have to take a break because of the stress or mental health or family issues, and you may have to take a break or, not have a semester off or 2 semesters off or a year off so that you can get back to the place you need to be to go back to school. Some of you are working, so you have to work in the mornings and go to evening classes. Some of you are working around schedules. Some people have children, some people are married, they have families. Some people are just unable to afford to go to school without working, and there's just so many different pathways to gaining an education. Some people might be, fully online. Some people might be in person. Some people may go off. Some people may stay at their local community college. Like, there are so many options. There's so much variety, and you just need to be willing to make the changes that you need to graduate. And I just want to tell you that you are not denied. You might be delayed, but you're not denied. So just because you're delayed in your college journey doesn't mean that you're not going to graduate. And any of the difficulties and challenges that you face, that you still work through them and do your best. The fourth lesson that I learned from my 4 years at UB is to get involved. You also need to be intentional to get involved. And honestly, it can be scary. And you're gonna have to go outside of your comfort zone, but it is so worth it. And I think because my final year was like the first time in like 2 years that I had in-person classes, I definitely made the most of it. And I hope that you do the same too, that you make the most of whatever opportunities that you have. But the way that I got involved is that I attended events that were happening around campus. I went to conferences. I volunteered as a student volunteer so that I could attend the conferences and meet all these interesting people. I spoke up. I met people. I said hi. I volunteered. I joined a Christian Bible study. And we ended up actually having the amazing opportunity to go to a camp in Eleuthera called Camp Bahamas, and we did some outreach and ministry there, which was incredible. I spoke at a UB North conference. There's just so many things that I did. I was a research assistant, and that gave me the opportunity to do some writing and editing. I was actually nominated as the student senator on the academic senate, so I got to attend the meetings every month and watch the process of the policies and the rules and laws that were coming into place in our university. It was so incredible. I met so many new people. I connected with my professors. It was just incredible. So if you're in university, whether in person, online, wherever you can, do what you can to get involved. And if you have the chance to be in a new place, like I was in Nassau, definitely reach out, join clubs, volunteer, go to events at your university, go outside of your comfort zone. One of my favorite things that I did while I was at UB is I attended plays because as a research assistant, the person I was working for was really a theater person, and so I got to come to a lot of the plays that were happening during this semester. And not only were those plays helpful for writing my senior thesis, they were also a lot of fun. And so just make sure you connect to people, be willing to meet new friends, new professors, and get out there and see what you can do. There is just so many opportunities if you're just looking for them. And I hope that you won't be afraid to just do something new and make sure that you become more involved in your college community. And my fifth tip is to enjoy the process. Being in university is a privilege. Not everyone has the opportunity to go to college, especially not at a young age. And so definitely take hold of these opportunities. Take your time, don't rush anything, and realize that you're on your own unique journey and path. Do not compare to anyone else. The easiest thing to do is to compare yourself to people who graduate earlier than you, or to think that they are better off because they go to a different school, but that is not true. Just focus on your own specific journey, on your own unique goals and process, and enjoy it. You know, make friends, have fun, do something new, and just be grateful to have this opportunity. It is seriously a privilege to go to university. And what that means to me is that I want to do my best and I want to enjoy it. I don't want to worry or stress or fear. And sometimes we do fall into stress, worry, and fear, but to realize the little moments and just enjoy them for what it is. Because when I think about it, I'm never going to have this exact opportunity again. Like, I'm never going to be an undergrad student at University of The Bahamas again. And that season is over now. And I'm grateful to have graduated, and I'm also so excited to see what happens next, but I don't regret anything that's happened in the past 4 years. I think that this experience has really grown me as a person. I'm much more mature than I was before. I'm a better writer, a better speaker, a better student. I think I've grown in so many ways, and it's so exciting to see how things have changed from me being a freshman to me now being a senior and now graduate of UB. And it's just so incredible, and I just can't wait to see what happens next. What is next for me? Well, I actually don't think that this is the end of my college journey. I want to go off, hopefully, and get a master's degree in creative writing. I am so excited. I'm going through the process now, hopefully starting soon to start working on applications. But that is what I believe is up for me next, me going off, hopefully sometime next year, so that I can study creative writing, which is truly my passion and something that I've wanted to study from the beginning. And it's going to be an incredible opportunity and just an incredible journey. And hopefully I can continue to document my lessons and things that I've learned outside of my undergrad and into grad school. So that is what is next for me. Congratulations to everyone who has graduated, whether from high school or college. We did it, class of 2023, and I am so excited for you and what is happening next. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Okay, bye!